This is a big one. I'm excited about this one. This is probably one of the biggest releases of the year. Not only that, I'm giving it away. What's up, everybody? I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm reviewing and giving away a pair of the Travis Scott Nike Air Max 270 Reacts. Yes, you did actually hear that correctly. I'm giving away this early pair of Travis Scott Nike Air Max 270 Reacts in a size 8, so if you want to find out how you can win this pair for yourself, make sure to stay tuned till later on in the video. So funny story about how I got this pair of Travis Scotts. I had actually been looking for a pair to buy for a review for weeks at this point, and I saw that Harrison Neville had done a giveaway for a pair, but the person had chosen cash instead of the sneakers, so instead he decided to sell his pair on his website. And I bought them. So really, shout out to Harrison Neville for making this review possible, because without him, this wouldn't be happening. And also, actually, shout out for this awesome hoodie. I really dig this. I'm sure most of you already know who Harrison Neville is, but if you don't, you definitely need to check out his YouTube channel. He does awesome mystery box unboxings, and he's just a great guy, so he's definitely worth checking out. But getting back to the Travis Scott Nike Air Max 270 Reacts, which is a stupid long name, this shoe was supposed to release earlier in the year, and then it got pushed back and pushed back again, and now it looks like this shoe is finally releasing on May 29th for a retail price of $170. If you somehow don't know anything about this sneaker, which if you're watching this channel is probably not the case, this shoe is a collaboration between Travis Scott and Nike. Over the last few years, Travis Scott has collaborated with Nike and Jordan brand on multiple sneakers, and this is just the latest of those collaborations. And of course, as I'm sure you're aware, each one of these collaborations tend to sell out pretty quickly and resell for thousands of dollars. And because of that, I think it's fair to assume that the Travis Scott Air Max 270 Reacts will most likely sell out instantly and resell for triple to quadruple their price. I'm not the biggest Travis Scott fan in the world. I definitely like his music. I'm not ashamed to say that I was there for the Fortnite concert, which was actually pretty decent, and of course I like his Nike and Air Jordan collaborations. But this sneaker collaboration in particular is really interesting to me because it's not on a silhouette that you would usually expect someone to collaborate on. The Nike Air Max 270 React is a newer Nike Air Max sneaker that features both React foam cushioning and a 270 air unit in the heel. I've actually reviewed that sneaker in the past, and while I thought the sneaker looked really good, comfort-wise it was a little bit strange because the softer cushion was in the forefoot of the shoe and the more stiff air unit was in the heel, which is odd because usually when you think of a sneaker, specifically an athletic sneaker, you think of the softer cushion being in the heel because that's usually where you come down the hardest. But because the React foam in the forefoot and just above the air unit in the heel is so soft and significantly softer than the air unit, it makes the transition from heel to toe kind of weird. It's definitely not an uncomfortable shoe, but it is kind of a weird experience. Something else that's kind of interesting about this collab in particular is that Travis didn't decide to go with the standard React 270. Instead, he decided to go for the React 270 ENG, which is a slightly upgraded version of the sneaker. The only real difference is the upper and the paneling on the upper, because the midsole and the outsole of the sneaker stays the same. I don't know why he decided to go with the ENG over the standard pair, but my guess would be because it looks more futuristic and Travis-y. I can't really think of a better way to say it. All that said, it's an exciting collaboration, so why don't we take a deeper look. Starting off around the toe of the sneaker, you've got this double-layered dark brown nubuck material that has this mini Nike swoosh embroidered in white into the lateral side. Something that you'll notice as we get farther into the sneaker is that not a lot of colors are repeated. It's all sort of a brown tonal shoe, but a lot of the colors are kind of just specific to their own areas, which is interesting. I'm not saying I like it, I'm not saying I don't like it, I'm just making an observation. As you move farther up in the shoe, you get to this cream white textile mesh. The mesh itself seems to have this very light cream colored ripple texture that kind of sweeps across the top of the shoe. Then just above that, you've actually got one of the most noticeable details on the shoe, which is this TPU ripple texture that covers up a majority of the forefoot of the shoe. These TPU lines also come in sort of a cream or light sail color, and they create this really nice pattern when they sort of overlap the ripples on the textile mesh. Then at the base of the tongue, you've got this sort of grayish green nubuck panel that houses some of the lace eyelets. The laces come in sort of a light blue, or I guess sort of grayish minty color, which is actually pretty clean. As you move farther up in the shoe, you get to more of these grayish green nubuck panels, and then popping through the nubuck panels, you've actually got these dark red lace eyelets. Then underneath the laces, you've got this nicely padded grayish green tongue, which is actually a slightly lighter shade of green than any other portion of the shoe. Running up the center of the tongue, you've got a pull tab with the Air logo written in orange, and then connected to the pull tab, you've actually got this purple, blue, and red lace lock. I'm not exactly sure where the purple came from, but it's there, and I do not think you can take this lace lock off, so you're kind of stuck with it. Then moving inside the sneaker, you've once again got a slightly different shade of dark grayish green on this sort of textured fabric sock liner. The texture of this sock liner is sort of dimpled and it kind of looks like mesh, but I don't think it is. I think it's just a pressed fabric. I'm not sure exactly why they went for that aesthetic, but I don't mind it. The sock liner is decently padded and it's very similar to the Nike Air Max 270 React ENG because that's essentially what it is. Then rounding off the inside of the shoe, you've got a matching dark gray-green insole with the Travis Scott face printed on the left shoe and the Cactus Jack branding printed on the right shoe. As for sizing and fit, the Travis Scott Nike Air Max 270 React does seem to fit true to size. Nike's usually pretty good at making their sneakers fit true to size. In fact, it fits just like a pair of Nike Air Max 270 React ENGs if you've ever tried on a pair of those before. However, because everyone's feet are different, if you have a chance to try this shoe on or just another pair of 270 React ENGs, I definitely suggest doing that to make sure you're grabbing the right size for you. Continuing back in the sneaker, you get to this really interesting sort of light brown fleece detail. That's kind of a weird choice, especially for the outside of the shoe, because usually you would think that if fleece got rained on, over time it might start to get nappy, kind of like suede. But I guess as you'll see later on in the video, there are other parts of the shoe that might be in more trouble if the shoe gets rained on than just the fleece. In the center of this fleece panel, on both the lateral and the medial side of the shoe, you've got this Nike swoosh embroidered in orange. And then moving around to the back of the shoe, you've got this really interesting cross-shaped pull tab. The pull tab has a 3D Cactus Jack logo printed onto it in orange, and I'm assuming that's the reason the pull tab is shaped like this, to accommodate that logo. To be honest with you, I think it's actually a kind of cool touch. And then moving down on the shoe, we get to the weirdest part of the entire sneaker. And no, I'm not just talking about the React 270 midsole, I'm talking about the paint job. As I mentioned before, the shoe does feature the same midsole and outsole tooling as the standard Nike Air Max 270 Reacts. However, this time around, it comes with a very weird hand-painted yellow paint job. I get that this paint job is supposed to be decorative or whatever, but I hate it. It's unbelievably sloppy, it's super thin so you can actually see through to the midsole underneath, and it gets up onto the upper. Like, it looks like it was done by a 3-year-old. It's terrible. Like, that area right there is worse than glue stains. It looks like it's dirty. It just looks awful. Especially on the medial side of this shoe, you can see all the brush strokes. It just doesn't look good, and I get that's the effect they're going for, but why did they go for that effect? Not only that, but they also painted the air unit. It's not just the React foam. The air unit is just as sloppy. But here's the craziest thing. The shoe actually comes with a tag that says disclaimer on it. It comes with a literal disclaimer. You're not gonna believe what this tag says either. It's unbelievable what this tag says. It says the antique finish is purely cosmetic and may wash off when in contact with water or other liquids. What? Do not wash shoe in washing machine. If needed, dry shoes by dabbing with a clean, dry cloth. Which means this shoe, if it gets in the rain, not only will get nappy around the ankle, but all the paint will come off of the midsole. That's insane. And it's not like there's anything underneath that midsole paint. It's just a light gray midsole with a clear air bubble. That's it. It's not like you're uncovering anything. It's not like the LA to Chicago Air Jordan 1s where it was a different color. It's ridiculous. But it actually gets worse when you get to the outsole of the sneaker. The paint gets even sloppier, and it also looks like they added some white paint on top of the yellow paint to cover up this sort of clear or white outsole rubber. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that. It's got drip marks on the side. It's literally got drip marks on the side of the shoe. That's crazy to me. Personally, I wish they had just made the midsole yellow. Just a solid yellow, and that's it. I really don't get the need for this antiquing look, as they call it on the disclaimer. It just doesn't make sense to me, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, it's not going to be a deal breaker for most people. While I think it's a stupid detail and it doesn't make any sense, it doesn't ruin the shoe. From a distance, you wouldn't even be able to tell that this midsole is painted. It's just weird when you get up close. And also the fact that you can't wear the shoe in the rain. That's nuts. But moving past that, because I can't talk about that anymore, comfort-wise, the shoe is solid. It feels just like another pair of Air Max 270 Reacts. It's fine. It's not unbelievably comfortable, but it's not bad. The upper is nicely padded, especially around the ankle area. The React is super soft and feels great underfoot. The only weird thing about this shoe is the midfoot transition from the React to the Air unit, because again, this Air unit does feel stiffer than the React, so it's kind of a weird underfoot feeling, but you definitely get used to it. Overall, even though I've said a lot of things about this sneaker that I don't like, I do think it's a good shoe. I think the colorway is super interesting and different. I think the silhouette that Travis chose was a good choice because it really is different than what he usually does. And I think it's an interesting looking shoe, and I think that's the most exciting thing about it because it doesn't look like anything else that anyone else is wearing. Once again, if you're trying to grab a pair of these when they drop on May 29th for a retail price of $170. And make sure to be on your game because these shoes will sell out instantly. But now let's find out how you can win this exact pair for yourself. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this is a size 8 that I bought from Harrison Neville, so it's kind of cool because 2 YouTubers have had it. But if you've watched his videos at all about the sneaker, you know that unfortunately this shoe does not come with the box. For the giveaway winner, I'm putting this shoe in a replacement box, and at the end of the day, you're still gonna have an early pair of Travis Scott Nike Air Max 270 Reacts, which is pretty cool. To enter the giveaway, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, this YouTube channel, by clicking that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and follow me on Instagram at @RealSethFowler. I posted a picture on my Instagram right when this video went live of this pair of sneakers, and all you have to do is go to that Instagram picture and comment "done" underneath it. The giveaway is open internationally and will run for 1 week from today. I've made sure to leave all the information and the links that you need in the top of the description below. Once again, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, and comment "done" under the picture of these that just went live. But that's all there is to it. Good luck to everyone who enters, but now I would love to know your thoughts on the Travis Scott Nike Air Max 270 Reacts, and whether you're planning to grab yourself a pair when they drop on the 29th, or if you're gonna let them go. So let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.